ahi a tēnara koutou. He mihi ana ki mana o tēnei whenua, nai tuhua riri, me nai tahu, tēnā tātou. He ori a hau no Ngāti Raukawa, Ngāti Tamatera, me Ngāti Porou hoki, ko Elle tēnei, kia ora anō. Greetings to everybody gathered here at Multicore World 2024 in Christchurch, or Tautahi Christchurch. It is an absolute honour to be among such esteemed innovators, thinkers and practitioners. Thank you for allowing me to share my perspective and experiences with you. I am not going to stand up here and tell you what you should be doing. We don't rock that way. I don't rock that way. To be perfectly honest, I only know what I know. And even then, failure is a constant friend, as reflective learning follows thick and fast, especially in navigating converging ecosystems, which is something in which we are all doing. For context, a bit about me, I made a deal with a mate of mine a few years ago, and I would endeavour to be 100% authentic, 100% straight up, 100% of the time, and that's how I roll. You see what you get, rock and roll. Are you cool with that? Wicked, let's go, let's do it, peeps. So, I looked a lot at the slides on the Google deck, and I noticed technical, all this sort of stuff. You'll see a lot of my AI generated images and you're just going to go with it, okay? Because that's how we're going to rock and roll. And it takes a lot to teach AI. I know that many of you in this room know this. Today I'll be delving into a topic that resonates deeply with both my professional pursuits and personal passions. The intersection of societal philosophy, cultural knowledge and contemporary digital innovations. The intersection is not just an academic concept for me, it is a pracademic in nature. Learn, do, pracademia. It represents a hikoi, a journey that explores how we can harmonise traditional wisdom with the relentless march of technology. We're going to go beyond the binary to explore the code of legacy, a concept that intertwines zeros and ones with the far-reaching impact of our work on society and future generations. It's about looking beyond the data and algorithms to the bigger picture of why we do what we do. My journey began with a curiosity and fascination for the hard sciences. I am a proud geek. I was raised in the generation of comic books. This is the stuff that I grew up with. Dad used to sneak and buy me comic books. I used to love it. So when people are hiding other things under their bed, I was hiding the comic books because we were churchies, so just letting you know that, which is choice. I come from a really cool foundation. But anyway, from the intricacies of quantum physics, physics and I have always had this massive curiosity. When I was younger, Mum and Dad didn't understand it. I used to hide my physics books from my mates. And talk it all, the type of crew that I hung out with did not talk about physics. So I used to hide my geekness. Imagine that, hiding your geekness. So from the intricacies of quantum physics to the vast complexities of technologies which measure both time and space utilized in various fields. As my path unfolded, it became increasingly intertwined with a deeper exploration of Indigenous cultural studies, particularly focusing on my own Māori culture, and then into omni-cultural principles. In the 27 years that I've been active, I started very young. I left home and started working when I was very young, at 13 years of age. I've had the privilege of working cross-sector, cross-industry, always aiming to weave traditional insights into the fabric of modern technological solutions. What I've discovered is a rich tapestry of knowledge, a tapestry that reveals the beauty of interconnectedness, not just in science, but in our approach to life and problem solving. It's this interconnectedness that drives movement within the collectives in which I serve. To ensure a shared understanding, just for a quick moment, I just want to talk quickly about biculturalism, multiculturalism, and omni-culturalism, especially in relation to this place, this whenua, this land, Aotearoa, New Zealand. Our journey starts with biculturalism, the foundation of our national identity, deeply rooted in the relationship between Indigenous Māori, tangata whenua, and Pākehā tangata tiriti. Grounded in the principles of te tiriti o Waitangi, biculturalism in Aotearoa New Zealand goes beyond coexistence to embody a partnership based on mutual respect. It acknowledges Māori as tangata whenua and integrates our rich heritage, language, reo, and traditions into our national narrative. This bicultural foundation sets the stage for a broader conversation about our national identity and cultural integration. Multiculturalism is about embracing diversity. As New Zealand becomes increasingly diverse, like many of the countries around the world in which we all live in, multiculturalism brings various cultural perspectives into the spotlight. It promotes the celebration of this diversity, encouraging the inclusion of different traditions, reo, beliefs. However, multiculturalism in Aotearoa is not just about adding more threads to our tapestry. It's about creating a cohesive and vibrant picture that reflects all who live here. And finally, omni-culturalism. This concept is old and new at the same time. It is particularly compelling, with Māori culture providing a guiding framework in this space. As we embrace omniculturalism, we are not just acknowledging the presence of multiple cultures in any of the spaces that we're in, we are actively seeking ways to integrate these diverse perspectives into our societal fabric. This is the PhD that one day in 10 to 50 years from now I will ultimately achieve, which is based around omnicultural governance. Māori culture, with its emphasis on community, guardianship, kaitiakitanga, and interconnectedness, whakawhanaungatanga, offers valuable insights for this integration. For more of a deep dive into my thoughts on this sounds like a plug, but I don't need your money, and I'm not marketing myself, I'm just giving you an insight. Go to my website, ellarcher.nz/multimedia/blog-vlog, and there is a deep dive into this thinking with a little bit more detail in there. My thinking is freely shared with all of you. Right or wrong. Underpinning my multiverse of service is my why, which you asked me about before. My why, the thing that makes things sense. So when I'm going about in my multiverse in all of these areas and serving within all of these areas at different levels of service, the thing that pulls them all together and gets me to be really strategic about my movements and who and how I am serving is always based on kotahitanga. It's a unification kaupapa. I believe that unity is a mechanism to drive inclusive exploration to further the pursuit of knowledge, aiding in the determination of humanity's role and direction within the universe. I believe that with all my heart, and I give myself to that service freely. Put simply, knowing aids us in doing. Doing is moving, sometimes backwards, but in reflection, always forward. If we move forward together, we as a species will always have purpose. We are always seeking it. This philosophy is the basis of my kōrero to you today. My journey was and continues to be a personal quest to understand how the wisdom of our ancestors and those who have gone before can guide us in an era dominated by AI, quantum computing, cybersecurity, and exponential technology growth. As we look back to the roots of traditional wisdom and Indigenous knowledge systems, with a particular focus on Māori and omnicultural principles, there is an innate realization that these ancient wisdoms are not relics of the past. Rather, they provide a vital moral and ethical framework for our modern world moving forward, particularly in technological advancements. Take, for example, the Māori concept of kaitiakitanga, which emphasizes guardianship and stewardship of the environment. Both our individual and collective responsibility to look after the ecosystem that looks after us. Imagine applying this principle to how we develop and use technologies like AI. I say AI, I'm very aware of the AI gambit, the ecosystem, if you will. In my own experience, integrating these traditional values and technology has not only been enriching but also transformative, of which I will share some examples shortly. It's about seeing technology as a tool, not just for advancement, but for sustaining our cultural heritage and societal well-being. A successful project that we work with in regards to our hapu, so whānau, hapu, iwi, ne, we talked about this yesterday, was integrating Māori perspectives and historical tribal data with geospatial data collection of sites of significance. I know some of you in this room have also worked on sites of significance projects as well. This led to a more sustainable land management and resilience solutions. As a person who also wears emergency management hat and leads in those times when stuff gets rough, I also work at the regional level here with ECAN on the recovery space. So we're always looking for those data sets and working with our hapu me iwi on resilient solutions. So at the time of this particular project, showcasing how traditional knowledge can directly contribute to modern challenges. It also, out of that body of work, it changed the fourth area of emergency management for us. So after recovery, we now have a new way of looking at things, which is called renewal. And that came directly from a Te Ao Māori framework that we've been working with in recovery. And the integration of the mātauranga, the knowledge, impacted all who were a part of the community and the wider community of that particular space. So such integration paves the way for a more inclusive, considerate approach to technological development, where cultural sensitivity is as crucial as technical efficacy. Thus, traditional wisdom is not just a part of our history, it's a guiding light for our future, especially in the realms of AI, quantum computing, and cybersecurity. Transitioning into the realm of contemporary digital technologies, we are at an unprecedented juncture where AI and all that stuff I was talking about are reshaping not just our industries, but our societies at large. My question to you is this, and there are a few of them. What is the future shape what is the future that we are currently shaping with the technologies that we're working on? What is the future society we are shaping by the decisions we as technologists are making today? Is it our responsibility to know and care? And what is our role as technologists in the societal consciousness discussion? This is very big thinky stuff, but you guys are big thinkers. So should this be part of your thinking as well? Or do we just go like that? I find zooming out aids me in zooming back in again to make a real difference. The potential of these technologies to affect positive change and digital enrichment is immense. AI can revolutionize healthcare, education and environment, conservation. I know I'm not talking to people who do not know this. Quantum computing promises to solve complex problems much faster than traditional computers, opening new frontiers in research and development. Not talking to people who don't know. In our work in cybersecurity within the education sector, we've witnessed firsthand how protecting digital assets is crucial in a world increasingly dependent on technology. These experiences underscore the transformative power of digital innovations, not just as tools for efficacy, efficiency, but as catalysts for societal betterment. Concentrating on an end state, however, and this is getting to my point of this discussion, is important to ensure we are setting ourselves up to shape something positive for future societies. Focusing on digital enrichment is a forward-looking endeavour that transcends technology. It's about creating a society where individuals and communities flourish, where education is accessible to all, where innovation thrives, and where we can tackle global challenges effectively. Digital enrichment is not just a goal, it's a commitment to a brighter, more inclusive and sustainable future. So it should drive innovation. It should ensure efficiency and resource optimization. Sustained interconnectivity globally and locally is something that we're all questing for at the moment. I hear, and I've been reading a lot of your slides, I think we're all thinking the same thing. It's important as well that there's sustainable problem solving. that it aids in that sustainable problem solving, their inclusivity and flourishing communities, and a commitment to a brighter future. However, with great power comes great responsibility. As we harness these technologies, we must be mindful of their societal impacts. As alluded to yesterday, we already have underlying issues throughout all of our communities. Many of us who work especially on community initiatives all over this country can very much see the gaps that we have within our society. So I work on a little project that I'm working on with Elgin. Anyone in here know who Elgin is? Yes, you do. So this is the local government tech space, really, is the best way to say that. All the CIOs, all the people within our local government spot. So at the moment, I'm working on a digital equity scoping project where I have pulled together a framework with data sets underneath it to be able to scope the equity within a district. It's taking ages. The data acquisition alone on this has been crazy. The goal is we have an equitable focus. We grab our data, we analyse our data, and the insights that come from the data lead us to targeted intervention. Why? Because we don't have the resources to spread thin across the whole of a district to be able to handle the digital equity issues. So if you're interested in that, larcher.nz, I will be uploading our findings on that. The report will also be published through Internet New Zealand as well as the Royal Commission. This is the framework that we've been using, which is based on the MASTS framework, which I mentioned yesterday on the panel for those of you who were there. Many of us are working hard to bridge and close those gaps. There are many people working in digital equity across this country in particular, and definitely across the world. But quantum computing will increase the gaps exponentially. Many of us who are working in this space could already see this coming. So we as technologists, we must be mindful of this. What is it that we're creating? So as we embark on a journey towards digital enrichment, it's crucial to reflect on societal philosophy. These are the philosophers that I've been sitting at the feet of in the last 3 years in the societal philosophy journey that I've been on. We are striving for progress guided by purpose and ethics. Our pursuit of digital enrichment is not just about technology, it's about people, values, principles, and place. We draw inspiration from philosophers like Sir Mason Dury, Martha, John, Emmanuel, and of course I had to hook up with Aristotle again, that fella, who emphasise individual rights, moral autonomy, and human flourishing, which includes recognition of equitable gaps and a move towards equality. Equity is not our end state. Unity is. When we think about equity, if you focus on equitable situation in that part, you're going to take your focus away from that part. There will always be equity. So we must understand it is phasic. We move from equity, we move it into equality, and then we move into unity. These are the phases that we're in, and we're in different phases all the time and in different places. It is related to place and people. So these values resonate with our commitment to inclusivity, ethical decision-making, and well-being in the digital age. We integrate Indigenous wisdom into our philosophy, recognising the importance of unity, inclusivity, and respect for the environment. Māori whakatauki remind us that the most important things in the world are people, place, life, and legacy, echoing the core of our digital enrichment journey. The concept of a code of legacy is about ensuring our technological progress is aligned with preserving cultural heritage, where each innovation is evaluated not just for its technical prowess, but for its culture and ethical implications. Consider the use of AI in language preservation. By applying this technology, we can help revitalise endangered reo, endangered languages, marrying cutting-edge innovation with the preservation of cultural identity. Similarly, in the realm of environmental sustainability, integrating Indigenous knowledge systems with technologies like GIS and remote sensing, which many of you use, has led to more effective conservation strategies. These examples illustrate a future where technology and tradition walk hand in hand, enriching each other leading to a future that is as respectful of our cultural heritage as it is ambitious in its technological aspirations. In that vein, I would now like to introduce a critical element of our discourse, a unique framework for technological development deeply rooted in cultural values, focusing on our possible future and the legacy we wish to leave. It is very simple, but all good things are, and hard at the same time. I just went and did that thing. This framework isn't just theoretical. We have used it now on multiple occasions. It's a practical guide designed to intertwine technological innovation with our rich cultural heritage. The framework stands on 5 primary pillars. We call them po. Language and identity, reo me te tuakiri. Cultural integrity, te pono ahureo. Technological responsibility, te haipapahangaro. Inclusivity, te whakatokotahitanga. And then, of course, sustainable legacy, te tuku iho tauwhiro. Cultural integrity involves ensuring that technologies respect and reflect the values and practices of diverse cultures, particularly Indigenous communities. It's about creating technology that speaks to and for cultures, not and never over them. It's enough of that. Technological responsibility emphasizes the ethical use of technology. It requires us to consider not just what we can do with technology, but what we should do, aligning innovation with moral and ethical standards. Inclusivity in this framework means democratizing access to technology, which we heard a lot of yesterday. It's about breaking down barriers and ensuring that technological advancements are accessible and beneficial to all, irrespective of their background. And sustainable legacy focuses on how our technological choices today will impact future generations. It's about ensuring that our innovations not only solve today's problems, but also preserve the planet and cultures for tomorrow. And finally, like all Indigenous cultures, our identity, our ways of being are in our reo. They're in our language. Long may it survive. This framework is a call to action, urging us to weave these principles into the very fabric of our technological endeavours. This is its first presentation, and I give it to you. Naturally, aligning traditional values with the rapid pace of technological advancement is not without its challenges. As alluded to in yesterday's conversations, and hopefully some that have had here today, the key lies in dialogue and collaboration, ensuring that the voices and wisdom of diverse cultures and communities are heard and integrated. Yet these challenges also present unique opportunities, especially in promoting sustainability, ethical development, and a holistic approach to technology, and our role as technologists within it. So let us open the door to deeper conversations we need to have, and have no fear in doing so. Our wero to you, our challenge to you. Think big and think long term. I know you do, you're all amazing. Well, just make it a conscious effort to do so. Understand your own backyard first. Everyone's got this big thinking that it's all about the rest of the world. How about you check your own backyard? Are there any digital equity going on in your own backyard? Are the ones, my parents are in their 80s now, I've got digital equity with mum and dad, and I'm helping them out as best as I can, especially mum and her situation with Vodafone at the moment because of an email address. Just saying, check your own backyard out. And then zoom out a bit, check your communities. Is there anybody there that needs any help? We would love to say we have all the resources to send everywhere to help decrease the gaps in digital equity. We do not. If we do it though, pretty choice. Scope. Let yourself know and understand what's going on in your own backyard. Pull your ecosystems together and co-design with the communities in which you serve. Going into a community saying you've got all the answers, especially the communities that I belong, good luck with that. Just saying. I've got all the answers for you. Get out of here. You don't know us. Prioritize your digital equity or your digital enrichment challenges and customize them to place and people. Formulate a strategy, obviously, and Please ensure with your strategies you've got good tactical implementation plans with timelines. That means that we deliver. We do what we say we're going to do. And just get on with it. I'm around a lot of people that do this a lot. I'm very interested to see what they've done and what they've delivered. This pisses me off. Excuse my reo. As we chart our course through this era of unprecedented digital innovation, let us not forget the wisdom of the ones who have gone before us, even the ones who have had more steps than us that are sitting in this room today. I always look at you older ones, and I go, give me your wisdom. Sometimes you don't have it, and sometimes you do, but I'm always willing to listen for it. The wins and the fails. Listen to the wins and the fails. All of that matters. Our collective responsibility is to ensure that our technological advancements not only drive us forward, but also enrich and preserve our diverse cultural landscapes. Check in with your conscience, and please be mindful of the future that you are all creating today. I urge all of you as leaders and practitioners in technology to embrace these principles in your work and in your research. Let us build a future where technology serves not just our immediate needs, but also upholds our shared heritage and values. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā rā tātou katoa. Kia ora mai.